There is a lot of discourse between a lot of the new shows that are rolling out, and I want to get your temperature reading on what's going on right now.
The current discourse of cinema, I would say it's about the same as it has been, with more of a focus on franchise filmmaking. Way more of a
Okay.
focus, at least from the major studios. Independent wise, you still have the independent films about the same. Um,
Okay.
the franchise filmmaking has been ups and downs pretty much. I'm
Um,
not sure what exactly you're going for because the state of cinema always
oh,
changes. I mean,
well, no, I mean, like, do you think there are a lot of good films getting put out? Do you think there are like there's some pretty bad films and that are being put out, and
I
like the
think
bad films are
I I
like
think
the I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was
Go
just
ahead.
gonna say I think the ratio of good films to bad films has been pretty consistent throughout the years.
Like
And that
50-50.
consistency is,
Oh, I don't know. I don't see every single movie. I don't know. I know there's good ones and bad ones
well,
produced every year.
yeah.
Yeah, but you hear conversations and rumors and things like that, right? Like you can kind of gauge an opinion of what people are thinking about modern movies. Like you did that one video on Critical Drinker where you said he modern movies suck, or I think that was the title.
Hmm.
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah. Is it can you see where I think his main point was like around 2016, and I think one of the major points that he brought up was the Ghostbusters 2016 film
Yeah,
was
for like
kind
four
of like
minutes.
yeah, it was kind of like the tipping point for where we were like, oh, they're uh companies are just going more for like going
Writing's
for
taking a back seat.
the wokeness and stuff like that. Like that was his opinion on it. Um, do you agree with that? Like the quality of films have gone down since then, or do you think they are still like doing about the same as they were before?
It's honestly about the same. It's not any big difference. Ghostbusters 2016 was one of these meh movies that I find a lot of people like Critical Drinker and I don't know if Neurotic's done anything on Ghostbusters 2016. I'd be shocked. But a lot of these guys just whinge over it like
Almost definitely,
incessantly.
yeah.
And the movie came out like what 6 years ago, and yeah,
Yeah.
I
Ye-
I don't see
I can
how
see
that's a
Yeah.
why,
reflection
though.
of modern movies at this point.
Well,
Yeah,
no, I'm
um,
sorry. Go ahead.
yeah. I have an opinion on that. First of all, I guess whenever we're talking about the state of cinema, that's pretty vague to me. Like, are we talking about like,
No,
uh,
just your straight opinion.
okay,
Just your
Yeah,
straight opinion.
it's
Yeah.
it is very
well, all
vague
right,
to me
well,
too.
I pretty much agree with Bob that it's I don't think that there, I'd have to have like a list of all the
Hello?
movies made throughout. Am I
I can hear
audible?
you.
Okay.
Oh,
Um,
sorry. Back connection on my end. Um,
I'd have to have like a list of all the movies made in certain eras and do like a, count them up, and then we'd have to look at, I mean, I don't know. The state of cinema is really the only objective metric for any of that is box office, I believe, right? Like, I mean,
what?
you can judge
Yeah,
it based on what a certain group of people say is good or whatever. But like, what I think happened with Ghostbusters 2016 is a certain, like, yeah, there was definitely a shift that happened with that movie, and just right out the gate, I think it sucks. I hate that fucking movie. Like,
Oh yeah.
I couldn't get through it. But
yeah.
I don't think the shift was in the film industry as much as, I mean, yes, there's been a shift in the film industry, but I think that what you just described, as far as like what Drinker described, is really a shift also in YouTube film commentary, which started focusing on this word woke as, something to put into the algorithm, and it goes in the algorithm, it goes into titles, and people click on it because it means whatever whoever's reading it or hearing it wants it to mean. And it's
Well,
uh,
then we should define the term right now. That way, there's no more confusion going on.
absolutely we
Okay.
should.
What
Yeah.
does woke
Sure.
mean to you?
I don't think it means anything. What does it mean to you guys?
Well,
I,
see, I kind of live in a. I have seven sisters, so growing up, grew up in a very feminist household.
I'm sorry.
Okay. What does that
No,
have to do with it?
not because of the feminist, just living with 7 other women at the same
Oh
time.
yeah,
Like
it was
I'm sorry.
the first rule of living with
Okay.
7 sisters is you're always wrong. Uh, I saw a whole feminism thing, and it was annoying at first, but I'm of the position now that's just everybody needs to do what they're gonna do, right?
Okay. Yeah.
Freedom of choice.
Sure.
And I think wokeness pushed that originally. Like it was feminism, gay marriage, like all these different freedoms, right? That they wanted. And that's great, right? Everyone should be free, right? I'm a
Yeah.
libertarian, so, everyone should be free to do what they are gonna do, what they believe is right. That's all we can do. But now it's kind of shifted to the point where now it's leaning a little. It's like the pendulum is swinging. It's swung from one way where things were restricted. Now everything's free, and now it's swinging the other way.
Yeah,
Where
we're speaking in really general, like these
Yeah.
general nebulous terms at this point, man. Like, what does that
Well,
mean?
that's fair.
Free? It was free. Now it's swinging. Like, I need to understand, like,
Uh,
something I can grab onto here.
okay. Okay. If I may.
Yeah.
Um. Okay. Background. I kind of live a bit of a very uh, walled off kind of existence when it comes to these type of things. But from what I've gathered from, different pieces of media, YouTube responses, things like that, the I how do I put this? The popular term for woke is um uh raising perceived groups that are at a disadvantage to a higher level and promoting them more, i.e., you know, blacks, Asians, the other races, the gays, all that, and putting them on a plateau and making them the highlight of the conversation.
I
And
mean,
Well,
I
what?
mean,
you were. I actually was kind of on board with your definition until right at the end there because
Yeah,
like
the
that's the
plateau thing
misunderstanding
threw
that
me off.
I see
sorry.
people have a really like the people that tend to get upset about wokeness, which by the way, I don't think most people that are for the things that you guys might call woke, we typically don't use the word woke. It's like mostly you guys that call it that.
Okay. Oh,
Because
hang on. Hang
yeah,
on. Before we go any further, I want it on the record. I do not believe in wokeness. I want that said straight out. I
Okay.
so what are we
flat out.
talking about then?
Yeah.
Like if
What?
it's
No, because I'm trying to. Okay.
take the Hightower movie for example. They
what?
changed Roland's race
Oh, the
for
Dark
no
Tower. No,
reason.
no,
Or the
no,
Dark
no.
Tower.
You mean
Dark
other
Tower.
than Idris Elba being one of the best parts of that movie? I mean, it's not a good movie, but
Well,
Idris Elba
yes,
was
I
awesome.
would agree with you there.
Oh,
But they
And what
oh.
is that?
changed his race arbitrarily.
Well, I mean, but it's also arbitrary for you to care that they changed his race. Stephen,
Well,
King
it's
didn't care.
if you've read the Dark Tower books, you know
Yeah.
that it's important.
Yeah,
No,
no,
it's really not.
No,
Stephen
not
King.
at all.
It's
No.
do you know what an adaptation is?
no.
Yes, I know what an adaptation is.
Well, that's what it was, an adaptation. So, like, it's
Like,
No, guys,
I haven't read
you-
all the Dark Tower. I've read part of the Dark Tower, and honestly, Idris Elba nailed it.
No, guys, that's not the point. There, did you read the second book?
Yeah, actually, the second book was the one I really liked. That was Drawing of the Fruit,
Okay.
right?
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
The Roland being white was literally a plot point for that book because of Odetta and Detta.
But it
Okay,
wasn't
wasn't a
for
plot
the
point in the
adaptation.
movie.
that's the point. It's an adaptation. It was different.
Okay, no, the Dark Tower, the Dark Tower movie pisses me off so much.
I mean, no,
am
that-
I'm
glad-
not gonna defend the movie.
Yeah,
as
the
it is. It's a
movie
piece
was
of
weak
shit.
as fuck. I thought Idris Elba and Matthew McConaughey were cool in it. But
Oh
the
yeah,
movie was
because
weak
Idris
as fuck.
Elba is a genuinely really good actor. I love Idris Elba.
Right.
For
Would
the
make, I
record,
would make the same complaint if there was a black character in a book and an or a black gay character. Let's go
Yeah.
all the way. And in an adaptation,
Whoa,
they
whoa, whoa,
change
whoa,
both
whoa,
of those.
whoa, whoa, whoa.
It'd be frustrating.
Hold on. What I'm curious about is like why would that be the thing that, because like I did a debate recently and a guy brought that up and I'm like, why don't you focus on the fact that the movie sucked?
Yeah, the
Instead
movie
of
did suck.
the
So.
changing
Well, it's a
race of
minor
the
point.
actors. Like that's
But
what we should be. We
it's-
should be as fans. We should be mad about that. Like not
Well,
like that
yeah.
they aren't changed the fucking race of the guy. Like,
Well,
No.
that's not a huge problem, but it is what I would call woke.
No.
Is the
Well, then why-
changing a person's
No, wait.
whatever.
If you have an
and
actor
I'm
who's like
still not
perfect for a
seeing why
role,
woke is a problem.
if you have an actor who's perfect for a role except for the color of their skin, should you not cast him?
No,
Really?
hang on.
Well, I
Hey,
mean,
what?
I'm always hearing people say that they should cast based on who the best person for the job is, not on
Yeah.
race.
Right.
And it's like
Y-
Idris
yes.
Elba is
Okay,
a big
so-
name, fucking awesome actor.
So,
and
so say you're doing a book, right? And the book
Mhm.
was the main character's a woman, right? And she's a gunslinger, you know, she's super badass. And they're interviewing people for that process. And the best person for the role is Tom Cruise. Should they pick Tom Cruise for the
Well-
best actor, or should they pick?
he is
Natalie Portman?
pretty feminine.
Okay, that's beside the point.
yeah, I mean, he is kind of a little bitch. No,
No, that'd be such a weird
You said
situation,
it to me.
though. But
No,
Right, but that's my
hang on,
point.
got-
If
hang
I
on.
was in the casting seat and I read the book and I'm like, okay, I'm adapting a book. If there's no real source material, whatever. I mean, if
well,
Idris
hang on.
mean,
walks in, I'd
really-
hire him in a heartbeat. He's a great actor.
it really has to do with like we just covered this on my channel recently with the whole Little Mermaid thing, right? Like a bunch of people got their panties in a twist because they, 40-year-old men acted like they cared that an adaptation of a movie is gonna have a black Ariel, and that's not accurate and all this stuff. And it's like, so people started saying, well, okay, can we have a white Black Panther then? And we made a whole video about that, addressing that specific thing, and that's no, because it's completely different. Because
Okay.
and that may seem arbitrary to some people, but context matters.
mhm.
Right.
Ariel's a little, as a mermaid, her race had nothing to do with the character. The only thing that matters is that she's a mermaid. If they would have made her a fucking deer-legged woman or something, that would have ruined it. But
Yeah.
with Black Panther, T'Challa and Wakanda, all of that is inherent to being the part of Africa, a fictional country that was untouched by colonialism, and with thanks to the vibranium and everything, that's the part of the story that's the foundation of the Black
Right.
Panther story. So like you can't just change that. There are differences. There are innate differences to characters and stories that it completely would not make sense if you changed it.
So how would Roland
I-
not fall under that if his race plays a pivotal role in the second book?
Hang
Because
on.
they didn't
Well, I'll
adapt
be
the
blunt.
second
It's
book.
been
They
a while
adapted
since I read the books. I don't remember how pivotal him being white was to it.
He almost gets killed several
hey,
times
what-
by.
Hang on.
Oh, I'll let Jim take over.
Okay.
Sorry, man. He looks
Hang
frustrated.
on. Sorry.
But I will say the color of his skin played no bearing in that movie.
Not in the movie. No. And that's the point I'm trying to get to, but everybody keeps jumping over each other.
Sorry.
Okay, in the movie, it is, I guess in canon, it is the next cycle from the end of the book.
Yeah, I think they
And
tried something
they
like that. The movie was weird.
Well, that was
Maybe it's a
part
bad
of-
example just because it's so fundamentally broken.
Yeah,
That was
it's
part-
very broken.
that was-
Mm.
That was part of the problem. They tried to jam in so much into a single movie when that shouldn't have been a single movie.
Yeah, and
but
it was like 9
no.
minutes long too. 9 minutes.
It was something like that. But no, I do not have a problem with Idris Elba playing the gunslinger. I
Okay.
did not
then
have a
what
problem
were we
with
talking
it.
about?
What? No, I didn't bring it up. But here's the thing. When I went to go see it, I went with a couple of other friends, and we walked out of that because we had all read the book series. And we all sat down and decided if you had never read the books, you might think that that was an okay movie. Like, okay.
Mhm.
The action scenes kind of did most of the legwork for the whole thing, but,
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah, no, there's
But-
cool moments. Mm.
Yeah, cool moments. The fucking the sound, like listening for the guy when he takes the shot, that was a pretty fucking cool moment.
Hmm.
But if you had read the books, you would have been totally pissed off because they were jumping around like a fucking grasshopper.
Hmm.
Like
Well,
really
the
just
biggest problem with that movie is that they tried to fit eight books, is it, into 90 minutes?
No, they weren't even trying
no,
to fit 8 books into it. It was just a
like the
slapdash thing.
first
Yeah.
it was like one parts of three and like maybe a little bit of five. It was all over the goddamn place. That thing was a fucking train wreck plot wise when compared to the books. But it I think it was Corbin that brought it up, or Corin, sorry, that brought it up. Like I I I don't know if that would fall under like the forced diversity category, but
I will be
that's
100% honest with you. If I am casting a movie and Idris Elba says I want a role, I'm probably gonna give him a pretty big role.
Yeah.
Probably
yeah,
not
but
gonna be
what
all
if that
that
role
picky.
yeah, but
Well, we're talking about two different instances here.
what if that role is Winston Churchill? I don't think that would
Then he
fit
wouldn't.
quite too
Yeah,
well.
he
Yeah,
wouldn't because
obviously that
that's a
can't be a literal
historical figure.
No,
That's
interpretation then,
no,
at
obviously,
the
it
very least.
like
like I
like
said,
there's
It's
context
an
matters.
adaptation.
Context matters,
yeah,
and things are different than other things.
yeah.
You know
And
what I
then,
mean? So,
There's
yeah,
like, you can't just.
there's
there's
let's also be serious. There's a difference between fictional characters and actual historical figures.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I understand that. But like, if there's one of those producers that are high on cocaine that come up like, guys, I got a great idea. We'll cast Eddie Murphy as
Well,
Winston Churchill. And they're like, no.
sometimes you get a really talented director that has a weird take, and sometimes they'll do weird shit like that, and it works. Like a lot of times, it depends on the artistic vision, and like if the director's talented enough to
What?
pull it off.
Can you give me an example?
Oh fuck, wasn't there like a David Bowie thing where like Tilda Swinton played David Bowie? No, it was a Bob Dylan thing.
Oh,
Yeah,
Bob Dylan, and it
Yeah,
was Tilda Swinton, and
yeah, it was a whole
it
bunch
was
of
like
different
several
people. Yeah,
actors, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, I do remember that. Actually, I did see that. It's been so fucking long, but
Hmm.
um,
What
look,
did you
and
guys? Did you guys see Black Adam? Let's talk about
Not
no,
yet.
something current. No. Any interest at all?
no,
No.
um,
I don't watch a whole lot of movies.
I'm
I,
not seeing any. I'm just saying I'm not seeing really anybody upset about the race change with that one. Yeah, yeah. Dwayne Johnson is not like Middle
He's
Eastern.
Samoan and African American, isn't he?
Yeah, but
He's
he's
from
not
Guam,
Middle
I
Eastern,
believe.
right? Yeah.
Actually, born. Yeah.
wait, Dwayne Johnson?
Yeah, he's. I looked it
No,
up recently. We were talking about it.
Well,
He's
I mean, he's
half
born in
Samoan, half
Guam. He's
African American.
American. He's born.
Right.
I
But
thought
yeah,
he was Hawaiian.
Yeah, Samoan.
Simone. Yeah.
A Samoan. Yeah, right. Duh. Same fucking thing, Jim. Jesus. We're getting off the rails already, guys.
Was it
All
any
because
good? Let
you
me
brought
see this.
all
Was it
because
any
you
good?
brought up the Dark Tower. God damn.
I'm
We're,
sorry.
we're trying to
Mhm.
find the rails, is what I feel like.
I-
Look,
Yeah,
yeah.
where are
I'm
the
not
rails?
really
Get
sure
Um,
where we're
on the
going
rails.
with this one at all.
Okay.
Can we agree
Okay.
Dark
Well,
Tower
well,
was weak sauce? Can we?
Oh
Yes.
yeah.
Here,
Okay.
let's bring it to something a little
Um,
closer. I'm an author, or at least trying to become one. I have a character in my book who's black, and if someone made a movie adaptation and changed his race arbitrarily for whatever reason, I would be mad because it would be ruining my vision for the
Okay.
story.
Where,
Is it?
Vision
Hold
for
on,
the
is it?
story.
Is it arbitrary or is it for whatever reason? Those are two different things. Like
Yeah.
for for a reason. If there's a reason, then it's not arbitrary. If
Well,
it's
if
an arbitrary would just be
if
based
it's
on
if
kind
the
of like
adaptation is going to be faithful, then any reason
wait,
would be
no,
arbitrary.
no. Hang on. I think I know what point they're going for. Is him being black critical to the character that you wrote?
In this instance, yes, because his character is from a slum. So he has that angle, that point of view for the team he is in is critical, and that it sets the stage for the character development.
Okay,
See,
so
this thi-
only black guys are from the slums? Is that what I'm getting from that?
The
Like,
world is literally about to end, and that I live in an area in California that has a lot of low income areas, and I work around this area because I'm in construction and the trades. So I talk to a lot of these people. A lot of them are really, really great people, but they always have a certain lens, worldview, right? They save really, really well, they work hard, and they're always very careful when they're in public, right? I've been around these people, and especially the bigger people, they tend to be a little more careful around other people who are smaller than them. I know a guy's like 6'4", big old black guys covered in tattoos, right? And if you watch the way he acts a certain way around people who are shorter than him. It's just an interesting view, and I think that it can add a lot, especially in the realm of racial tension. Don't you think it's an interesting thing to comment on?
Possibly. I mean, the
yeah, it all
issue would be
depends.
there. The issue would be there that if you were selling your thing to be adapted, you would need to stipulate that in the contract. And if you didn't, then whatever they did with it is, it's on you for selling the thing without stipulating that.
Right, but my point is,
really
if someone did that, I would feel like the end story would be damaged.
Okay, well,
Whether they hired an actor who's amazing, I still would be a little bit.
okay,
okay. I can, even if I grant you that this is your hypothetical, that's true, that's accurate, sure. But what does that have to do with like the state of cinema today and how things are bad and all this? Like, it seems like with all the movies that come out, we'd be able to talk about something more recent than 2017's Dark Tower and 2016's Ghostbusters and like in a hypothetical.
I literally just wanted to get his take on current movies and how he thought about them. Can we move on?
I will say, if you want my take on current movies, I mean, I think the ratio is probably about on average every year. What you're going to end up with is, as the years go by, people forget about the bad ones and remember the good ones. So you think, oh, this year was great because this and this came out. But you're forgetting all the shit that came out that year. And that's what's going to happen as we go on.
Subjective too, though.
In 10 years, in 2032, we're going to look at 2022. We're going to forget all the bad movies and then remember some of the good ones.
That's fair. That's fair. I will give you that.
I mean, how many good movies can you think of from 1980? A few. But a lot of movies came out that year.
I mean, Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah, well, there's a few good ones.
Yeah.
I can look at a list of every year of movies releases and find several great movies that probably came out that year. I just not off the top of my head because my memory sucks that way. But yeah.
Chaos. I have to apologize. I honestly thought that was just going to be an innocuous question just to like lead in to other things. I didn't know it would turn into this.
Well, yeah, it's the problem is it's kind of vague. So,
well, because I like to give open-ended questions where there's a lot of different answers, but I didn't know we would be crawling over each other the entire time.
Yeah.
Again, well, at least it's leading credence to your title. So there we go. Let's get into what we're really here to talk about. There's been 4 videos now between you and Rags, back and forth. So, because there was, well, I don't know if I should count your Obi-Wan review. So we'll start with his first response, your response, and then his response to that one, right?
Yeah. And
there wasn't another one after that, right?
No, I'm not doing another video. I'm not even watching that video. But I think it's also worth noting I've done 2 videos on him, probably total around an hour in length. He's done 3, totaling about 7 hours in length.
Okay.
Something like that, yeah. First off, when you saw the first response video, what was your like gut reaction, or were you doing a live reaction in that video?
No, it wasn't.
Or did you watch?
I was actually initially planning to do a live reaction, but like when I did, like there was technical issues. Then when I actually ended up doing more research, I kind of did not like the guy.
Oh yeah, that reminds me. This is neither here nor there, but he did bring up the speeding up of his clip. Did you ever figure out what happened there with that?
Yeah, no, it was a 5% increase. I like I said, I was messing around. I had technical issues. I probably pulled the clip when I was trying to figure it out because he did a 2-hour response. I was trying to break it down a bit, and yeah.
Okay.
I want to disclose that I haven't seen any of the videos or anything that you guys are talking about. So if I don't have much to say, that's why.
Okay.
There you go. All right.
No, it was just a random thing that got brought up, and I hear it every time I watch the clip. I'm like, yeah, that is kind of weird, but I was just curious. That's neither here nor there. Um,
I know. I
let's
see that
see.
getting brought up in the comments a lot.
Yeah, it was just like just like the dog head turn like um so I think the first thing that I want to bring up that I have a major question on, um you in your response video to him, you picked a selection of clips, and from what I understand, they were from previous videos that you had done.
Yeah, that completed.
Um, okay. And the goal of those clips were to um expound the racist behaviors of other YouTubers, correct?
Yeah, a lot of YouTubers like Ben Shapiro, The Quartering. Who else did I cover? I covered Nerdrotic during that. There's a Critical Drinker. Yeah.
Yeah, and Rags.
Yeah,
Um,
Rags ended up getting brought in
the,
because he threw himself in there. I mean, I was not
right.
planning on covering
The
him.
the thing is, the content that was in those clips were in those clips was in this clip were in the clips. Um, they each one of those clips basically had those people denouncing the racist behaviors being pointed at Ingram Moses
Okay.
and or Moses Ingram, right?
All right.
Fuck.
Well, let me ask you this: did they say, "Hey, don't send racists to Moses Ingram. Racism is bad," and then end the video? Was that the end of their video?
Well, why would they have to?
Well, no. I'm asking, was that the end of their video? Did they say, "Why are they making a video"?
No. I'm not asking about their videos. I'm asking about the clips that you
Well,
picked.
it's part of it.
So, if you need the entire video for the context of the statements that they made, why would you pick
Well,
those
I'm
clips?
I'm showing you the highlight clip. My whole point was that they are saying, "Hey, racism is bad," but then they turn around and start talking about other stuff that's unrelated. It's clearly they're just running cover for the people who are being racist.
See, that's not what I read out of those clips.
Okay, so you're saying that if someone says
Hey, hey,
racism is
hey,
bad in a video,
hang on,
all right,
hang on,
hang on.
hang on. I
Well, let me ask you
let's
this:
finish
if
here.
if I were to say racism is bad, and then I turn around and say, but look at this person. See how racist they are? They're much worse than you are. See how racist they are? What does that? What signal does that tell you?
It tells me nothing because they were two completely different scenarios.
Really?
Yeah. One was a personal attack, one was a company making changes based on racism
Well, let
because
me
they
ask you
wanted
this.
to put it out
Let me ask you this. Why did they even bring up the China poster? Why did that even relate to that discussion?
because Disney wants money. They
Well, sure,
made
of course they want
racially
money.
hang on. They made racially based choices and literally put a black man in the background because they knew
What
how much
what
China hates blacks.
Okay, what does that have to do with Moses Ingram getting racist attacks though?
It
The point
doesn't.
of the
Then
That's
video
why did they
is
bring it up?
because that's what sparked the whole incident. It's not that one thing is
The,
worse than the other. It's not trying to cover up
Wait, what?
either
Moses Ingram
incident.
getting
It,
racist messages was sparked by China having a smaller fin on a poster for The Force Awakens?
well, there was the late night tweet that Disney released that said that Disney is basically blaming the fan base for these racist comments when
Is
it
that what
more
that
than
tweet
likely
said? Do you want to go on the record with? Do you know what that tweet said?
I already had this debate on my channel, by the way, and like, I'm sorry, I don't have to have seen the videos that you're talking about to know what this argument is. No, you can look at the tweets. I don't know if you want to pull them up, Bob, but like,
I'm pulling them up right now.
the tweets don't say the entire fan base is fucking racist because I'm part of the fan base and have been pretty much as long as I've been alive.
Hmm.
And I didn't feel like I was being called racist because I didn't share the fucking views that were being thrown at her and directed to her in her messages and stuff. I talked to this fandom menace dude on my channel about this. He's like, they're calling the fandoms, you know, racist. And I'm like, nope, they're not. They literally are saying, if there's anybody being racist, then don't be. And if you feel fucking triggered by that, then you probably should ask yourself why that is.
Okay. Well, let me ask you this then. Who is more likely to be following a Star Wars based Twitter account? Regular random people that have never seen it that just happen to be racist, or Star Wars fans?
They're talking about racist Star Wars fans.
They're
not just, these things aren't mutually exclusive, dude. There are people who call themselves Star Wars fans who are racist. And that's who they were talking to. The ones who were saying that shit to Moses Ingram. It's not that hard a concept. It really is mind-boggling to me that you guys seem to just fall over yourselves to misunderstand this shit.
Are you 100% sure that every single tweet that she got, or DM or whatever, was purely racist?
No, but she definitely got
they didn't
racist
say that.
ones.
You see how you're moving the goalposts just like all over the fucking place, dude? Like, why can you not accept that this woman just got racist messages? Some of them were shared. Why do you need to know that 100% of the messages she got were like super racist or so, whatever? Like,
because that's what the story was. That was the basis.
They never said that. They did not say 100% of the fucking messages were like, stop making up criteria that don't matter, dude.
That's how it got spun, though. That's my point.
Because she did get racist messages. She absolutely did.
It didn't get spun that way. It got blown up in that fucking echo chamber of the fandom menace and whatnot, where they're acting like that's what was said, when it really all that was said was literally right there in the tweet, and you can read it. And you know, if you want to misinterpret it and blow it out of proportion and take it personally for some reason, that says a lot more about you than it does about Star Wars.
What does it say about me?
I don't know. That you're insecure about something, that you know, that you don't know how to read very well, that your comprehension sucks. I'm not sure.
Well,
okay, fine.
Can I relate this to something? Say you're into motorcycles, or say you're into video games, right? And somebody puts out a tweet that says, hey, video gamers are calling X video game racist. So all gamers, right? Or say it was 10,000, 20,000. They say, oh, a bunch of video gamers specifically are going after this person. As a video gamer, would you not on some level think, I'm not a racist, why would I be painted with the rest of that crowd?
Show me the point where they say all Star Wars fans are racist.
Well, they don't say all Star Wars fans, but they say a bunch of Star Wars fans, and that kind of paints it like, a bunch of Star Wars fans.
How should they have phrased it so that people who are fans would not have been upset about it? Because like I said, I'm a fan, been a fan all my life of Star Wars. I don't feel like it was, when I read that, I'm like, oh man, it's talking about the racist Star Wars fans, the ones who are being racist, which is probably not even close to like.
Well, why don't they just say she was receiving racist tweets from people instead of specifically calling out the fans?
Publicly said out.
She wasn't calling out.
Yeah,
dude, you're talking about the fans as if we were a fucking monolith, and we're not. There's a lot.
That's how it was worded.
No, it wasn't.
Read the tweet.
It absolutely wasn't.
Pull it up and read it.
I'm trying to find it right now.
Let's read it on screen.
I'll paraphrase it real fast.
Read it on stream. Enlighten me. I've never had a Twitter account, so I wouldn't know.
Well, does someone have it pulled up? I can paraphrase it pretty well.
No,
no. I don't think we need to do any paraphrasing right now. Hang on.
Okay.
I think we need to go to the source.
Okay.
Just because.
Okay, the official tweet was, there are more than 20 million sentient species in the Star Wars galaxy. Don't choose to be a racist.
Okay, I did see that one.
What?
That one's pretty innocuous.
Yes,
there was another one that is the one that
I think there was another one before it, but yeah.
That's all it says? Is that verbatim?
Yes.
Yeah, I saw it too. I saw it too earlier when I looked it up. And I thought that couldn't be it, because from what everyone has said, it's different. Like they were saying,
no,
hey,
people are blown up over that one.
There's another one.
That's nothing statement.
I have the other one here. It's we're proud to welcome Moses Ingram to the Star Wars family and excited for Reva's story to unfold. If anyone intends to make her feel in any way unwelcome, we have only one thing to say: we resist. And then there are 20 million sentient species one. So I don't.
All right, so okay, I can see your point. It's a nothing tweet. It literally means nothing.
Yeah,
But
that
think
is
about how much content was made off of that, man. Like
Yeah.
how many videos were like they're
it's
attacking the
it's
fans.
it's so non-committal though.
Oh, so
Like
okay.
Well, yeah,
like
That
it's a
excuses
corporate
all the
tweet.
content where
Yeah.
people
like
acting like
well Chaos, weren't you the one that said like if you are dealing with racist comments, you must say that racism is bad? You said that in the videos.
what?
Yeah, no, I might have said something like if you're going to specifically talk about racism, especially if you have a racist fan base, it's probably good to say if racism is bad.
You you literally said that at the beginning of your response to Rags. What
Well,
why
do you not think
why is it
racism is an issue in the country or in the world?
I think it's a minor
yes.
issue.
A minor
Oh.
issue?
Minor
Really?
in the way that I think I have a confidence that a lot of people, I'd say I even dare to say most people are pretty good.
Yeah, no, I would agree. Most
you're
people
a-
are
so
pretty
you're-
good, but doesn't mean there's a
you're
vocal
kind of a-
minority that's bad.
Yeah, so
And this is
wouldn't
also-
wouldn't it be a given that racism is bad? Shouldn't it be like, oh yeah, murder's bad
Mhm.
when talking
Alright.
about a murderer?
The problem is this, all right, and this is maybe this is something I can speak to based on that debate I had before as well. This guy was like, he was really upset about the idea of being called racist, and he said because racism is evil, and they're basically saying that people are evil. And I was like, hold on, man. Racism isn't just evil, right? Like I grew up in the deep South. I grew up with the N-word being thrown around in my home and around me pretty regularly, right? There's a lot of hatred where I'm from. And, you know, I had some fucking bigoted views growing up. It's not evil, it's ignorance. And then if you have the opportunity to learn and do better and you choose not to, then yeah, you're being kind of a piece of shit, right? But like, so no, it's not just that they should call out racism or that they shouldn't have to because it's just a given that racism's bad. It's that some people don't realize maybe that,
Okay.
you know, certain attitudes are racist and they need to be informed. It's an
Or-
ongoing educational process.
All right, then here's the follow-up question. If you think it's necessary to say racism is bad and you're saying it to a racist, why do you think that would actually change their mind?
It
If
probably
that's the-
wouldn't,
if
but
that's-
it is
are you-
good
if
to let
that's
them know
the-
they're not welcome.
Yeah.
So they can walk away and they would still be a racist. My point is, why
Okay.
do you believe that it's necessary to always call out racism?
Well, it's important to establish.
because it-
racism. Are you
Because that's
arguing
how you create that's how you
I-
make it socially unacceptable as it
Yeah.
should be. Not just
It is.
assuming that it is. No, it's not. It's really not.
There are
If you think
definitely
it is,
communities
then,
where
you know.
racism is acceptable.
So socially unacceptable? I think everybody knows that it's socially
No,
unacceptable.
not
There's
not
sti-
everybody does.
No.
No, they don't, man. They don't.
Honestly, if you're watching a lot of the
What-
content I go over, a lot of people watch that content don't realize that.
So wait, whoa. You're saying that your audience doesn't know that racism is bad?
I didn't say my
That you ha-
audience.
You said that the people that watch your content
I said
might not
the
know
people
that
who watch the
racism is
content
bad.
I go over.
Do you, the content. Okay, do you honestly think the two audiences are going to cross over?
I mean, they might, but I know I have a fairly decent audience that isn't
but-
part of that audience.
So why do you still feel the need to constantly say that racism is bad when you
Why do
already
I feel it's
assume
important to call out racism?
When
Because
you-
racism
when
is
you-
bad.
when you already know that they know racism is bad?
Because there might be people who cross over who don't know.
You don't know. There
Yeah.
there are plenty of people that have not been given the opportunity to understand. I mean, you guys are learning about racism right here, right now.
But you
No,
mean
I've
people-
learned about it my whole
be.
life.
You should
I
be
live in
learning things
California.
right now that you don't know. Oh, you live in California, gotcha. No, you should be learning shit right now. Whenever I was speaking, whenever Robert was speaking, that you didn't know, because it seems like you don't know it, and yet you are choosing not to, and you're looking for ways around to argue around the points and shit like
One
that. And
second.
say, oh, everybody already knows racism's bad.
One second.
No,
man.
I'm
Do you think I'm
literally-
racist?
I don't know you.
Yeah, I genuinely don't know. I don't know either of you. I don't
Now-
know. I mean, I would,
do
I would
I-
hope not. I would.
Let's
I
define
usually assume the
racism, right?
best.
Because racist, like I would very rarely call a human being, you're just a racist. It does happen, but it's pretty rare that I encounter somebody like that. What I would say is that people have racist biases that they either don't know about or they're completely cool with, right? Because me, like I said, me growing up when I didn't have any context for anything, I had some fucking pretty racist biases that once I learned, like, oh shit, this is actually not a good view to have. And makes me kind of a bigot. Then I worked through those things. I probably still have some biases that technically might be racist in some way. It's not an evil fucking thing. It's just like we have to be conscious of our biases and work through them. Like, and so like the fact that you guys get so, oh, they called me a racist as if it's like you're a sinner and you're going to hell forever or something. No, it's like saying racism, this is racist, don't do this, is like saying, hey, maybe get this shit in check, examine why you think this is okay to say, or why, you know, your attitude is this way or whatever. And that's all it should be. Like, I mean,
Or are you fine with me calling you a murderer? Said no evidence, just you're a murderer.
Well, I don't.
And I
call
just say this all the time.
Evidence.
Did you not hear what I just said, man?
Well, no, but what you're saying is you shouldn't take it personally, right? And you should try to work and learn through it, right?
No.
Listen, things are different than other things, dude. Like I just said, that racism is a system of biases and beliefs, not one single action, and therefore you are that thing for the rest of your life, like murder is. Like they're just completely different things, man. I know that you want to equate them because it's easier for you, but like really think about what I'm saying. Watch this back whenever it's done.
All right, I'm thinking about it.
So, like, what would you guys define racism as, though? I am kind of interested.
I've got the definition up right now. I can read it out.
Why does it always become
I'm asking what, like, if someone pulled you over on the street and asked you what racism is, what would you tell them?
I'd say it's the belief that any one race is superior to any others.
Well, I mean, technically, sure. Jim, do you have like if someone pulled you over on the street and asked you what racism is, what would you tell them?
The mentality that there are inherent qualities of a race that make them inferior to another race, or inherent qualities that make them superior to another race.
Okay, I mean, these are all technically correct. This is kind of superficial. I would actually define racism as those things, but also as a pattern of behavior. Doesn't mean there's anything like wrong with you or anything, but like if you constantly...
whoa.
No, let him finish. Let him finish.
Stop. Okay, right. Sorry.
Essentially, like you could in your mind you could be like, oh yeah, all people are created equal. But if you are constantly like doing like racist jokes, finding excuses to find issues with races in different contexts, even if in your mind you think all races are equal, you're acting pretty racist.
Hold on. Wait a minute. You're telling me if I make a black joke, that's racist?
If you do it consistently and often, it's a pattern behavior. Occasionally, if you want to do, like, if I don't think I've ever really done a racist joke, but like, if you're just with a tight group of friends and you just do a random racist joke, I don't really give a flying fuck. But
all right, we'll go anecdotal, motherfucker. All right,
but if you do it often, frequently, then that's an issue.
Okay, literally this morning, I was talking with a black man and a Hispanic at my work. I was talking to them about this discussion tonight. I had talked to we will call the black man, let's call him Jake, and we shall call the Hispanic Craig. So, talking to Jake about this, I asked him, you know, how much racism do you run into every day? And he was like, how much racism do you actually deal with? That was the wording that I used. And he goes, every day. I'm like, wow, okay. And he started telling me about how he grew up and, you know, dealing with, you know, racist people, things like that. But then he was like, but he knew that they came from a place of ignorance, and that you should judge people for their actions.
Yeah.
And
Absolutely.
then he pointed over to Craig and he goes, I'm sure that he gets it all the time because, they've got one house and they got, five different families with five different names in it. And Craig just looks over at me and he goes, you know what? We only got two.
All right. So
Okay.
what point do you feel like that makes, man?
Because sometimes jokes are just jokes.
Do you
That
think okay, so I mean, yeah, you're not wrong. Jokes can be just jokes, but like it really
like
does
like just I
that has to
I
do with
I
the Go ahead, man.
I think you all are doing like knee-jerk reactions to a bunch of stuff. I think you guys are taking this far, far way out of hand. I
Well,
think
Wait,
you
no, no, no,
see,
no, no. Hold on. We're
I,
taking what
I,
out of hand? We started talking about you guys were on top of this Moses Ingram tweet. That's what this whole thing was about. That's what the initial
no,
videos, from what I understand, was about.
I,
And you guys have
I,
just admitted that you basically handed that point to us that tweet was a nothing. And
Yes.
so like we're
And
talking
I
about
would
we're
also,
taking
for
stuff
the
from you.
record, put on there that any messages Moses Ingram, whoever the actor is, that the tweets she got, the racist tweets, I'm sure there were a lot,
mhm.
right?
Sure,
That is
sure.
wrong. She should not have gotten that.
Okay.
So
Yes.
why isn't that just the end of your statement though? Because I feel like there's got to be another part that comes after that. When most people are just like, yeah, she shouldn't get those. That's fucked up. And then there's this certain segment of fans who I'm not going to call them racist. I'm just going to say it's real fucking weird that that's the hill they're choosing to die on. We're like, oh yeah, can't even criticize her or you're racist. Like they didn't say that. Nobody said you couldn't think she sucks or
that
whatever. But like that's not
that
what they were saying.
that has been suggested that was like what Disney was trying to do with that tweet, right?
Suggested by who? The content creators who you
No,
follow?
no, 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 no. Like by the guys that you fucking hate, neurotic and
The
drinker
content
and all that.
creators that you follow,
Yeah,
yeah.
Yeah.
yeah. It's basically like suggested that they okay. Now I'm starting to understand the way you cut that up. All right. The biggest thing that I was so confused about by those examples was that you have the first half of them denouncing the racist tweets and messages that she got, and then the flash to Disney.
hmm
The
Okay.
Flash to Disney.
No, because he put it in a white flash, literally.
Well, yeah. No. It was.
Again, I want to get back to the friendly
It does seem
part.
familiar. Rags made the exact same complaint, but.
Well, I really don't like white flashes either. Totally different story.
This guy watches YouTube on dark mode, I guarantee you.
I do. Anyway. Okay. So the way you cut up those examples was the focusing on the Disney being racist is supposed to prove that we see because the
Well,
way you worded it, and I can pull up the clip, I think, was that um these were examples of these people being racist, neurotic and all of them. They are being racist by diverting the view over to Disney. Is that how I'm understanding it?
well, let me make it clear. Like, let's say Neurotic, Ben Shapiro, all these guys, they made a video saying, "Hey, Moses Ingram got really bad racist tweets, and here's Ewan McGregor talking about it, and this was really bad, and we denounce racism." And then they add the video. Guess what? I have nothing to cover. I agree with that 100%. What they did was they add
Okay.
on, oh, Disney did racism in China in 2018 and 2015, and and then there's, I think it was also the Mulan end credits. Yeah, cringe stuff has
That
nothing
that
to do with
was
the Moses
that was
Ingram situation. So
the
why are they
Mulan
bringing it
thing
up?
was the one with uh, because Disney racist
But why are they bringing it
or
up in that context Why don't they just do a whole
Well,
separate video talking about that?
So
I
would you have not called them racist if they had stopped the video right after talking about the Moses Ingram situation, and then made another video about Disney? Would that have cleared them of racism?
Well, they probably would have had other stuff, but in that specific context, yeah.
All right, so best faith interpretation of that is editing mistake.
Editing mistake? No,
or made them racist.
They all did that. The fact they all did that, no, they're trying to distract from the racist messages she got because they know the people who sent the racist messages are in their fan base.
Yeah, but even Drinker, like the clip that you showed of him, was saying it was messages that she never should have gotten, and I don't even think he brought up Disney in his clip. I don't think.
This is from a while ago. I don't remember, but Drinker has plenty of cringe stuff on his channel.
Well, let's move on
racist.
move on to what I saw in Rags's video that he said that kind of pissed me off, and I'm not mad at you now. It's just in the moment when he called Moses Ingram a clown person, and you said he was racist because you doubt he would have said that if she was played by a white man.
That was going to be the next topic, but hang on. Let me. I've got the clip ready to go over here.
Hundreds of thousands of people. It's not a big deal, and implied it's okay because Disney does bad stuff too. It is all unacceptable and should be called out.
Anyone of sentient mind, no one is in favor of Moses Ingram being hit with racist DMs. So, by the way, when I talk about Chinese racism, what I mean is that Disney, in making The Force Awakens, actually removed. They removed Finn from the Chinese posters because there's so much anti-black racism in China.
Question, just for clarification and just to make sure I'm not missing anything. The part between those two sections of Ben Shapiro, what was being said in between? Do you remember?
I don't know specifically, but he was obviously deflecting from the racist messages by talking about, but Disney did racism X so long ago.
Wait, you don't know, but it was obvious?
I knew at the time. We're dealing with something that happened a few months ago, man.
What can you point me to the video clip? Can you give me a link?
The Ben
Shapiro's
like Star Wars video? Yeah, it was very popular.
Yeah, I'm not a fan either. Let's not be talking about. Look, let's be fair. I ain't a fan of all the guys that you're not a fan of either. Critical Drinker, I do like. I like his take on movies, but there you go. Hang on. Can I ask for like a 2-minute break? Just because I think we've gotten off on the wrong foot.
Okay.
Honestly, I did not want it to get this way, I didn't want it to get to this. Because he was right. I'm feeling it boiling up, and I'm like, no, that's not what you're here for. You're here to learn and to share ideas, and you know what? I do apologize if I came off as angry. I want to keep things
fine, but I mean,
well, I feel angry. Let me put it that way.
Right.
So,
I mean, is there anything that we can do, man, to communicate better?
It's
like neither
that.
one
It's
of us have really debated much, so like it's just
Yeah, this is literally my third debate. So
let me put it this way. I am used to conversations where a subject gets brought up and then it gradually evolves. We went from 0 to 60 in 0.5 seconds.
I'll admit that was my fault for bringing up the Dark Tower.
At least
I mean,
I didn't mean to throw us in the ring right off the bat.
I'll take responsibility as well. I like to just get directly to the point of things, and because I don't know the videos you guys are talking about, all I can do is just get to the general arguments that I recognized from my previous debate. But I mean, like, yeah, man, I don't know if you want to take a break.
I just need to go take a piss. I'll be right back. Meanwhile, I'm going to completely scar my audience with a picture of Ben Shapiro. So I'll be right back.
Well, I would say in that clip, you said I honestly think it's just a bad faith read that I'm getting because I'm generally
A bad
kind of
faith from Ben
optimistic.
Shapiro or myself?
Well, the way you said it was like, oh, they should denounce it instead of talking about someone else's racism.
Well,
In the clip, you implied that them deflecting was like, oh, hey, see, we're not racist. Now let me tell you why this is okay, while they talk about, or this
well,
is your read of them. Obviously, I'm not saying you think that's okay.
but that's
So it's like,
obviously
what
the implication.
should-
They're implying, oh, Disney is so much worse, so it's okay to be racist against them. That's their implication.
No, that's not what they're saying at all. The
Then
read
what
I
is-
got was, this is bad, and this is also bad.
Then why don't they
Well,
do
why-
two
So it's
why
separate
not just
wouldn't
videos?
the fans. It's not just the fans. I'm not excusing the fans that have, like with the whole Kelly Marie Tran situation, and now with Moses Ingram, it's like, all right, that's not okay, right?
Why-
It's not
but
okay
why-
to be racist.
Why wouldn't we just focus on the incident at hand and deal with that? Like, why is it okay? So because there is no purpose that serves, to go, hey,
Okay.
some fans are being racist, and then fans, a few fans are like, well, what about this time several years ago that they made Finn smaller on the poster in China? And it's like there's no other purpose that serves except to distract and deflect from the thing that's actually happening right now, which is she was getting bombarded by racist messages. So like it doesn't track. You said at the beginning of this, you're all for logical consistency, and that's what I'm looking for in this point, is how is that logically consistent to the issue at hand, which is this woman right now, at this point in time anyway, was being, directed with a bunch of bigoted shit.
Okay,
Well,
can I take a guess as to what you guys were talking about? Are you talking about the shiny key syndrome with Disney with a tweet, or
I had a
the guy
shiny-
I had a
distraction
statement I was gonna
with
say.
these clips? Is that what's really going on?
What's the distraction?
The shiny key syndrome for babies, like distracting from the tweets of against Moses.
If you want to call it shiny
that-
keys, how they did an innocuous tweet and everybody on a certain political spectrum went apeshit over it, then yeah, it was definitely some
Alright,
shiny key
well.
stuff they did to them.
You are talking about Disney sending out that tweet, right?
Well,
No,
yeah, I mean,
he's,
it triggered a whole bunch of racists.
Yeah, we looked at the tweet. There's nothing in there that really should have triggered anybody except
yeah.
people that
I
held those views.
honestly would have just been annoyed. I've been like, oh, another corporate just saying
that's the
corporate
thing, it's
stuff
a
just to
corporate
cover their
tweet.
back. But
Let me
yeah,
th-
exactly.
let
I
me
wouldn't
throw
read
up a-
that much into it.
Let me throw up a hypothetical. Let's say you run a business, and let's say
I
in
do
your
run a
bus-
business, yes.
Okay, let's say one of your employees is let's just say they're black, and that
All right.
employee gets a whole bunch of racist, whatever racist. People are just racist to him. They're disgusting to him.
Well,
Do you think it would
It's
be
online,
appropriate
it's
for you
entirely-
to be silent and say, "Oh, that's fine"?
no, hang on.
Well,
Okay,
hey, can I answer the question that was posed to me real quick? Just because he posed this question and it would be rude for me not to answer. So if it was all online and it was on his account and it wasn't related to the business, then
But
that's
was
his
related to
business.
the business.
If it was related to the business, well then I would take it to PR, right? So if I'm a smaller company, I'd just say ignore. Because I would ignore messages sent to me as the business, because the business is for business things, right? We're
Well,
not.
what if it becomes publicly known that they did this and
Wait,
you ignored
Well,
it?
but you don't. You also
Yeah.
the reason
Hold-
it's different there is because you don't actually have a community built around your business. With Star Wars being a corporation, there is a fandom, a community of fans that are involved in this. It's not just like they're not just selling a product and that's it. Like there's another aspect to it.
well,
What
hang
percentage
on.
of the fan base
Wait,
would you say is
hold up.
racist?
Hold
I
up.
don't know, man. That's an arbitrary question.
Yeah.
Give me a what is your opinion?
I don't have one. I really don't. I'd need data. I would need to actually. I can't just pull that out of my ass.
Guys, hey,
Even if it's 5%, I want my fandom to be less racist than 5%. Even if it's
Oh, yeah.
2%,
Is
I want
this-
it to be
is
less
this
racist
thing
than
on?
2%.
Yeah,
Hey Jim, let's let Jim.
yeah, we're kind of forgetting one detail about this whole scenario. Was there an inciting incident for why he got the racist tweets? Was it his fault or was it the company's
Well,
fault?
first of all,
Whoa,
let's
dude.
In,
Hey,
in
first of
this
wow.
all,
scenario,
Moses Ingram is a woman.
Yikes.
no,
Yikes.
no, I'm not
No,
talking about
he's,
Moses. I'm
Oh,
not
so
talking
wait,
about Moses
who are we
Ingram.
on
I'm
now?
talking about this.
he's
This
talking about the
hypothetical.
hypothetical guy, and
Yeah,
Oh,
you're insinuating that there's something
yeah,
that a guy. You're insinuating there's something
okay.
this guy could do that would warrant
yeah.
getting racist tweets sent at him. Is that what you're
Okay.
saying?
Let
I want to know. No. I'm not saying there was an inciting incident that got the racist
okay.
tweets.
Let's
I want to know
Yeah.
what the incident was.
okay.
Like,
Let's say
was
what.
it his
What?
fault? Was
Okay.
Why
Okay.
was
would
it
it be
Guys,
his fault
guys.
that racists sent him racist tweets, man?
Okay, but hold on. Let's
did
just
he
say.
call?
Hold
Did he
on.
call a
Hold
white?
on.
Did he call a white child?
Okay. Let the inciting incident is simply that he was made the public relations head of your company.
Dude, I mean, that's just such an absurd
Okay.
thing to say. That like, dude, are you
That was
okay
it.
right now, Jim? Like, do we need to do
Mm.
this another day when you're like in a better state of mind or something? Because
In-
No,
it feels a little irresponsible to let you kind of do this to yourself on stream right now.
How about because I've been trying to talk for the past hour and a half and everybody just keeps rolling over me and I thought this was just never mind. This got out of hand so fast. My point is, in this scenario that you brought up, was there an inciting incident and was it the guy's fault?
I just told you the inciting
Because-
incident was that he was made the public head of the company. He's the guy they
Okay.
talked to.
O-
And then he got
Okay.
racist messages because of that.
Okay. That is completely and utterly uncalled for. Now,
So
if
do you
he
think the
did
company should say, hey, don't do that?
Well, what I would
If-
say is I would tweet as the main company, as the head. I would say I appointed this gal. Say it's a gal. I appointed this gal. I have full confidence in her ability. You know, I give her the thumbs up. Right. I appointed her.
Yeah.
She's in a good spot. I think she'll do it. I think she'll do a great job.
So,
Right.
So you want, like, if they're getting specifically racist attacks, you want to say, guys, hey, we don't want racist essentially here.
What if they just got a tweet that said you're an asshole?
Well, that's a
Is that-
different. That's
is-
not racist.
Yeah.
That's not
that's
racism.
different. Yeah.
Okay. But
don't-
was it racially motivated?
I mean, potentially, but there's no way to tell that.
Right.
Okay. So then the inciting incident was that he was just promoted up there. He got racist tweets. That's it. He's gonna
Well,
get upset over that. They're just
if he
words.
gets hundreds to thousands,
Ah,
yeah,
okay.
that can get pretty
Do you see how
intimidating,
much,
dude.
Jim, you have moved the fucking goalposts so much, dude. Like it's just a never-ending goalpost shift to like, well, okay, maybe it's racist, but maybe he shouldn't get his feelings hurt. Like, dude, come on. At some point, you have to have a standard. You know what I mean? You have to have some ethics, right? Like, it doesn't matter if you think his feelings shouldn't be hurt, right?
You have to have a standards when it comes to emotions.
Yeah.
Dude,
They're a part
Okay.
of the human experience. Emotions are a thing. They're not something to be dismissed just because, you can't. You know what I mean?
okay. Which would you feel worse about? Your mom dying or your girlfriend leaving you?
It's arbitrary. It's an arbitrary.
That's arbitrary.
Where do these
What does that have
No,
to do
no.
with anything?
Yeah. That's
batshit fucking questions that have nothing to do with anything keep popping up, man? Like, can we stay on the topic, please?
Okay, fine.
Well, what I would say in this scenario is I would approve of the person that I appointed, right?
Mhm.
Publicly. Right? That's my
Yeah.
part. And I would say if you're getting it on your personal, then you can say whatever you want. It's your personal thing, right? So you say, this is not okay, racism is not okay. You can say that. And your personal. We'll have a policy in our company, racism is not okay. That's been said. All right? So if you're receiving harassment of any kind, it's like, all right, and when you're representing the company, harassment is not okay and should be ignored. Right? On your personal side, that's up to your discretion. Like if you decide to go out and say, hey, racism not okay, I'm getting this, and I'm like, all right, great, do that. The company supports you. But as far as the company is concerned, we've made our statement. And
So the company,
and any company gets harassment, right? And it's It's just white walled away, right? Some of it's motivated by racism, and yeah, that's not okay, but it's still harassment, and it should be acknowledged.
Okay.
Yeah, but
So
it should
simply,
also be ignored with the rest of the harassment that the person or company
all right,
gets.
but would you say it's reasonable for the company to say, racism is bad, don't do racism? In
Yeah,
that context?
that's in our company's
Well, that's
statement. Yeah.
that's what these guys blew up about. That's all Star Wars Disney did in that situation.
Right.
Okay.
Back,
Yeah.
back,
I have
back to the
I have nothing
clips.
wrong with the tweet.
Back to the clips, please. I just
I mean, we can. I feel like we already covered them.
So much anti-black racism in China.
Well, all of this stuff came to a bit of a head recently when Moses Ingram, one of the main actors in Kenobi, shared a couple of samples of the abuse she'd been getting on Instagram. Nasty stuff that she absolutely didn't deserve. But what's even more interesting is the media firestorm that erupted in the wake of it.
So where was the racism in Drinker's clip?
Okay, so he didn't bring up the China thing, but he does go ahead and start talking about the media firestorm. He's quick to push aside the racism and start talking about the media firestorm.
So why didn't you show that?
Well, I showed him introducing it. I'm not going to show the whole video. I covered that video. If you want to watch it on my channel, or you can watch his video.
Okay, but you're using this as a counter argument to Rags's statements against you. Why didn't you show the portions of his video where he is what would you say, diverting attention,
Because I showed him deflecting.
No, you showed him saying she shouldn't have gotten the racist tweets.
And then he
That's
starts talking
all
about, but the more interesting part of this,
he does start talking that literally the next clip is nerdrotic.
no,
Point
he,
is that
it's
the clip
very
in
much in that
isolation
clip.
doesn't
Yeah.
prove a point.
Racist stuff that she shouldn't have gotten is
And then
the words that
he
said.
starts going, but the more interesting part about it,
On Instagram. Nasty stuff that she absolutely didn't deserve. But what's even more interesting is
So he should have. So what you're saying is he should have stopped the video right there and then made a different video on the social media firestorm.
potentially. Well, I don't even know why he's bringing it up, just to be like, and then shove it off
Topic.
to his side.
No, the only context I have for this is that she got racist tweets, she shouldn't have gotten them, and it caused a media firestorm. There is no deflection. That is simply just causality.
Well, I mean,
Okay.
what is a media firestorm compared to any other topic that becomes a big deal? Whether it's in, let's say one of let's say an actor in the Star Wars had gotten in an accident and died. Thankfully, that hasn't happened. But let's say it happened. That would be a meteor firestorm. Firestorm is a loaded word that people use when they want you to think about whatever's happening in the news as being overblown, over dramatic. It's like, why are they making such a big deal out of this? The word firestorm or whatever, it's just loaded, man. And that's kind of the problem, is that glossing over and just dismissing that, oh yeah, this shouldn't have been said to her or whatever, and then going on about a media firestorm. It's in one hand, or at one side of your mouth, you're dismissing, or you're saying that the racism is bad, but then you, out of the other side of your mouth, for a much longer amount of time, you're saying that the response to it was overblown. That's just what I've heard from this clip. I haven't actually seen the video before, but
And yet earlier, Chaos said that it would have been better at the end for them to say racism is bad. I believe I
They
remember
literally
you hearing
just
me
did a
say
video
that.
talking about the tweet or the messages she got, and then they end the video with the whole conclusion of the video being racism is bad. I wouldn't have anything to complain about from that video.
that would have been better. Yeah.
Wouldn't the beginning
hold up.
section
Wait,
have been that?
hang on. We need more context. This video that you took this clip from, do you remember what it was about? Like in
it
total,
was.
in
I
total.
want to say it was like his first Obi-Wan Kenobi video.
So this was like a very short portion of the entire video.
Well, yeah, I mean his normal video length's like 8 minutes, but yeah.
Right. So this was just like the racist tweets and the media after that. This is just like the sprinkling on top of the rest of the video, basically.
Well, this was towards the beginning part of the video. I don't remember exactly.
Well,
Like I said, we're talking about stuff that came out a
yeah.
couple months ago.
Well,
Actually, I'll be
even
blunt. I'm
so,
kind of surprised you didn't research it more before coming on here and talking about it specifically.
No, he doesn't have to. He just has to find ways that he can like sneak in between the cracks here of whatever we're actually arguing and find new ways to attack.
Well, I get the point that he's saying. He's saying that it's a section in a whole that the topic is the
Yeah,
Obi-Wan Kenobi show.
and
So should
Chaos
he have
literally
not put this in his video about
and-
Obi-Wan Kenobi?
and Chaos, you literally said earlier that the greater context was given later on. Why didn't you use that the context later on? You've
Well,
literally
when did I say
clips.
this? What are we talking
Like-
about earlier today, or are we talking about some video I
Yeah,
did 6 months ago?
yeah. No, tonight. Tonight. You literally said the context was later on in the.
Oh, what you mean the media firestorm that Critical Drinker talked about? It wasn't important. The whole point was that he was deflecting to it. That was the important part of that clip.
Look,
That
Seems very bad faith, but-
how do you see a deflection in him saying that there was a media firestorm? He just said that it happened. That's not a deflection.
I mean, it has to do with like how much you prioritize your message. Talking about the message, right? Like if I were to make a video, which I have done many times, denouncing something, saying like I think this is kind of racist or just dishonest or whatever, that's what I'm going to focus on. I'm going to make that clear that that's the point of my video. And I'm
The
not
point of
going
this
to...
video is Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Okay.
Well,
But then-
what was the name of the video? What's the name of the video? What's the title? What's the thumbnail? I'd like to know that.
Let me. Oh crap.
I guess my point is, if you were using this because this was the clip that you used to prove to Rags that these guys were doing racism, correct?
Yeah.
Right? Okay. The only thing he said was racist tweets got sent to Moses.
Okay, in
And
case
that
you're wondering,
they
the video
shouldn't-
is called "The Truth About Toxic Fandom." Sorry, go ahead.
Is that the
I'm looking it
critical
up right now.
drinker one or your video?
That's the Critical Drinker one.
That's the drinker's
Okay.
name. I'm looking at it right
Okay.
here, which makes it
Okay.
interesting because that means he's using this as an example to like dismiss it.
Yeah,
the media
no,
firestorm is
honestly-
actually the problem, not the toxicity, not the racism. it's
Yeah,
the media
I would say the whole
firestorm.
Is-
context of that video was to defend the toxic fans.
Okay, that's the rest of the video.
Pretty
Yeah,
much,
that's the whole. That's
Then
The name of
did you do a video on this drinker video?
Yes.
You
oh,
did.
Man.
Yep. Hmm.
What you put out so much content, which by the way, props to you. Like seriously, there's a shit ton of videos on your channel.
Can I ask you guys? I want to know. I have a real question, and I'd like to know the answer because like this is what keeps coming up after talking to you guys, especially Jim, you for like all this time. Is like, is there a way that would be acceptable to say that I think that this type of content or this type of language or this message has some racist tones to it? Is there a way that could be done that wouldn't be just like picked apart? Is there a way that like that Star Wars could have said, hey, we don't want racism slung at our cast, with that wouldn't have gotten that kind of backlash? Is there any way whatsoever, like, can you explain what that would be? Like, what is because you've got all these reasons why it's not okay. So every time something is brought up, you're like, no, that's you'd make too much content or whatever. And it's like, what's the acceptable means?
Whoa, hold up. I didn't say he made too much content. I said he makes a lot of content, and I was impressed by it. He uploads
there's an implication, but we can look past.
Wait.
It. I don't want to get caught up on
Well,
it.
we can talk about the implication you made about Rags making 7 hours of content, but we're not going to.
Wait.
Yeah, and he made 7 hours of content, and he's not willing to come on and discuss it with me.
Yeah.
Wait. Okay, against Rags, not me. Because the way it was worded, it sounded like you were saying I was making an implication about him or about Chaos making content.
I was using this as the most recent example of the ways that you're like whatever he says, whatever I say, you pivot, and now the goalpost is this thing, or like he's made too much content instead of addressing the fact that he made a video.
No.
Instead, you asked him if he had made a video about this video, and he said yes, and then that's when you say, oh well, you make so much content, rather than he answered the question satisfactorily. It's just that it didn't serve your needs, so you moved on.
That's not what I said. I said, by the way, you make so much content. I am actually impressed by it.
I would be happy to move on. I mean,
that's literally what I said.
Well, I didn't hear you get that far. Maybe I cut out.
Yeah,
or maybe
No. That was not a complaint. That was not a critique. I am genuinely impressed by how much content Chaos puts out. That just flat out. It almost seems like you put out like 5 videos in the past 2 days. I'm not even sure, but you put out a lot of content.
Well, now I just do clips from the stream because I enjoy streaming.
Yeah, it's easier. Yeah, and yeah, you know what? Good on you. Yeah, no, that was not an insult. I did not. If you heard it that way, that is not what I meant.
No, I didn't think you meant it as an insult. I think you meant it as a way to avoid the fact that he answered the question that you asked, and you just, I don't know, couldn't do what you wanted with that answer, I guess.
No, it's just a random thought that popped in my head. That's it.
All right.
Yeah.
And to answer your question, Dane, I don't have a problem with the tweet that they put out. After seeing it, it's like, yeah, it's fine. This is a corporate PR. Every company has to do it when they get to a certain size. Like, I got nothing wrong with that.
Okay, so back on topic. This clip of Drinker, maybe there could have been a better example that he could have used, because
I mean, maybe, but my whole point was that he was deflecting, and the clip shows him deflecting.
Well, I would say, after seeing the premise of the video is not about the racism that she received. The video is about the toxic fandom,
which is part of an umbrella term. Which is an umbrella term for that fits under it. This example definitely fits under it. Among many other examples, basically, you just have to look at a lot of these channels, Nerdrotic, Geeks and Gamers, and to a lesser degree, a little bit more of a pseudo-intellectual degree, Critical Drinkers videos, and you'll see these examples over and over again.
I would say he threw the clip in of her issue, her getting, well, I shouldn't say it like that, her getting racist tweets. He threw that clip in there to say, hey, this is not a good thing. I wouldn't call it a deflection. If his wider topic wasn't her situation, it was something else, then I would say, how is that not him denouncing racism?
If that was the point of putting that clip in there, why didn't he cut it off after he said that it was horrible and it shouldn't have happened? Instead, he left in the part where he dismissed the media firestorm as essentially that's dismissing the whole the thing in general. Like it's downplaying the racist shit that she got.
No. You gotta listen to the actual sentence. He says she got a bunch of racist tweets that she shouldn't have gotten, and then there was a media firestorm after that.
Oh, he said, but the more interesting thing was the media firestorm after it, which I think is where
the more interesting.
It was a transitionary statement to move on. I personally would have hard cut and moved on to the next topic. I can see where that could be construed as him deflecting, but I would say if he wanted to downplay it, he wouldn't even have mentioned it and just talk about the media firestorm.
Yeah, I could you have the way I understand it, this is from a previous episode, correct?
A previous episode? What you mean? Videos I've done?
They're all previous episodes.
Yeah, each one of these clips is from a different episode in this like 9-part series. Or something, correct?
Yeah, sure, yeah.
Okay,
more or less. I think I did that. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that was something mentioned in one of the vids. Could you have taken this clip out and like the context for everything else?
So are we here to discuss the whole Star Wars issue, or are we here to discuss my editing techniques?
Well, your editing techniques painted you in a somewhat bad faith light.
Well, Rags is going to paint me in a bad faith light no matter what. He misconstrues me all over the place in his videos. So there's no way to avoid that. I could be the best editor in the known universe, and he would still misconstrue it.
Well, then should we move to the point that's the hardest to misconstrue?
Which one?
The point where you said when Rags calls Moses, what's her head? I'm sorry, I haven't seen the show.
What, a clown
when
person?
he calls her a clown person, and you say he wouldn't have said that. Direct quote: I don't believe he would have said that if she was played by a white male. That comes to me as you directly accusing him of racism, and I just would like you to clarify.
At the end of that video, I do have a clip of him doing racism, and since then, I've come across clips of him using the N-word. So, I mean,
what? Yeah, but okay. Hang on. Fucking goddamn Streamlabs, come on. Thank you, Jesus. All right, I guess we'll get into it. Shit, why did I take that off? I need to. What the hell?
I guess before we get into that, I just am curious. Like, at what point does this even matter? Because of all of the points that you guys have brought up so far that have been you really couldn't back up and looking kind of silly, to be honest, to anybody that's going to see this, I imagine. So, like, at what point does it matter that he might have made a bad faith remark in a video? You know.
Well, that was my whole point the entire time, and what I was trying to understand. Because I don't want to believe that you're a person who's attacking people in bad faith. I just think that from what I saw, the videos that I saw of yours about this, it seemed like you had a very heavy spin on everything. And maybe it was the editing, or maybe I just didn't understand after watching 3 or 4 times. But it just seemed that you had a very, a very negative outlook on these people.
My point is, you guys started off with the whole negative spin about that tweet, and we thoroughly fucking destroyed that, and you even agreed with this. So, like, at this point, like, people make bad arguments sometimes. I haven't even seen this, so I'm not saying he did. I'm just saying that, like,
so if you haven't seen it, then why are you, like, saying that we are?
Well, I think the point can be made that even if I make one bad argument, which I'm not even confident I would call this a bad argument, but maybe I make one bad argument. Cool. Okay. What does that prove? I make 1,000 good arguments and one bad one. What does that prove? Everybody makes occasional bad argument.
You made a video that says you basically claimed that the Quartering's fans were the ones that sent all of the harassing tweets against Moses Ingram.
I don't think I said all, but I mean, it won't surprise me at all if part of his fan base did that. And I would actually be surprised if part of his fan base didn't do that.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, I'm going to need to, like, verify any of these claims that you're saying about him saying it's all of the Quartering's fans, because of the way you guys misinterpreted that tweet. Like, I kind of just, no offense, don't trust your reading of things anymore. So
I never saw the tweet. I should make this clear. Right. I'm here to have my mind changed about you, Chaos, because from the videos I saw of yours, I had a very bad look on you. And so I came here to have my mind changed.
Okay.
If that makes any sense. I want to believe that you have a very good faith view of these people, or even a neutral faith. But from what I saw, it seemed that you...
I would like to believe that, but I've had lots of people tell me that, including Rags.
Well,
so
maybe that says something about the way the video is put across.
Yeah. Maybe it's something about how Rags interprets and how he likes to sell things.
Maybe it's about how you sold the things in your video.
Okay, now we're just going super vague.
Well, that's why
we've
my
already
point.
Covered points of the video, and like essentially, it seems like we're kind of hitting a brick wall on points of the video, where it's like you guys are trying to say it's not deflecting when it is deflecting. Or wait, did we agree that's deflecting?
No, we did not. I would not say it's deflecting.
So if you say, hey, racism is bad, but look at this big racist over here, he's different from you. Is that not deflecting?
Okay. What's more racist? Calling somebody a nigger or doing a lynching?
What?
You just got this video demonetized.
Yeah, dude, look, check it out.
No, seriously.
Jim,
no.
I don't know. Like, you honestly seem shit-faced, Jim, and I don't know that you probably are gonna be happy that you did this whenever you wake up tomorrow and you're sober.
No,
Yeah.
no.
I legit feel like I'm beating up a super drunk guy right now, and I feel bad for you. Like I don't want to fucking partake in this anymore because now you're saying slurs just to kind of be edgy, and you're making more dumb questions about which thing is worse, and it's like it's embarrassing for you, dude.
But
You should do this another day. We should do it another day.
No, which one is worse?
I'm not going near that one.
Which action is worse?
Yeah.
Are you telling me that me calling somebody a name is worse than killing him? Because
nobody's saying that. You're making up arbitrary fucking bullshit.
This is a weird argument. Where's this even come from?
It's absurd.
You do so many I look through your videos. It seems like you do so many knee-jerk reactions.
It's a format. It's called a reaction video.
It's a reaction video, dude. Like, can you show where his rags or critical drinker not done knee-jerk reactions? In fact, if you want to, Bob, I can bring up a graphic to show you a couple of times that Drinker has made some fucking bullshit claims and then like tried to cover his tracks later on. So like if we're just getting into trying to hold somebody to 100% always being super honest and never knee-jerk reaction or whatever, like you're just moving the goalposts all over the place and you're not even sober enough to keep up with where they go.
Bullshit.
So I just think it's unfair to you guys to continue doing this. I expected to hadn't had too many debates. I expected to come on here and probably have my ass blown out or something like that, but
I was expecting to come on here and actually have a chance to talk. And
I was told it was a debate, and we listened to you talk and heard your arguments, man.
You did call it a debate. That being said, the way I go into a debate and discussion are pretty much the same. I just see where it goes.
And at the beginning, I said I wanted to have a chat, and then things started getting heated, and it just fell apart after that. So
I realized it fell apart for you. Yes, like
I'd say things were flowing pretty well, actually, but
yeah, I mean, as far as debate goes, I thought we were doing okay.
I guess it just depends on which side you're on, right?
Yeah.